Y'all, it's getting so hard right now, and it's probably only gonna get worse. We are on the brink of a recession. According to this article right here, I will link it down below. Let me make it big for you guys. A recession is coming. Some say it's already here. 52% of the economists that were polled in this article think that a recession is coming before the end of 2023. 3% think that it's already here. I'm noticing it in my sales. Let me know down below if you guys are noticing it in your sales. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about, I think I have 5 tips. I didn't count. We're going to go with 5. And maybe a bonus tip if there's an extra one in there. But I have tips on what you can do to make it through this recession. It's only going to get harder. So let's go ahead and get started. The first tip is going to be, friends, your margins are going to get slimmer. And so what I mean by this is everything is going to get tighter. People are not only spending less money and you're going to be making less sales, but it's likely going to start costing you more to do business because the businesses that we are purchasing products from, that we're purchasing poly mailers, that we're everything that we need to run our business, they're probably going to be increasing their prices in order to maintain their business, right? So we're making less money and we're spending more money to run a business, which means that our margins, what we're making at the very end of the day, is going to get slimmer. It doesn't mean that it depends on how you run your business. Maybe it's going to get to the point where you're not going to be able to stay afloat. But the first tip is going to be work on those margins. You cannot do anything to work on the economy, right? If people have less money, that's what it is. But you can work on your business. So something that was mentioned in the live last week with Anna, so on the 19th, I'll link it up here. Something that I talked about on my live with Anna is she is working on other aspects of her business that she can get a little bit more money out of. And for her, that's shipping supplies. I don't do a lot with shipping supplies. She has an entire miscellaneous store, so lots of different boxes and peanuts and all of that stuff for shipping supplies. And she's working on securing a place where she can either get free shipping supplies or cut her shipping supplies in half. So because she's spending less on shipping supplies, now her bottom line is going to be better, even though her sales are declining, right? So look at your margins, look really deeply at your expenses, look at what you're paying for shipping and fees. Can you decrease those numbers without it impacting your sales too much? And this is going to go a little bit more into my second tip, which is going to be take these slow times and improve on your business. Look at your numbers. I'll link a video up here where I go through my entire profit and loss. If you aren't really sure how to look at these numbers, look at your numbers and figure out where you can squeeze a little bit more money out of. But as you have a little bit more free time, right? If the sales are slow, you're not shipping as much, maybe you don't have enough money to be sourcing as much or listing as much, whatever it is, work on ways to increase your productivity and your efficiencies. You can get more bang for your buck if it takes you less time to do something, right? If you are spending 6 hours sourcing to get 10 items, can you narrow that down to spending 3 hours sourcing and getting more items? Look at your information. If you have the Sarah Style Sales and Trends dashboard, you can go in and look at your sourcing places and figure out which one is providing you the best return and focus on. So here you have your sourcing places. These would be different for you, right? So if you're new to the channel, this is the Sarah Style Sales and Trends dashboard. It's Google Sheet, one-time purchase, link down below with a discount code if you want to see your information. But one of the mini charts in here is going to be all of the different sourcing places. Focus your time on the places that are bringing you the best return. You can also work on your shipping processes. You can work on your listing processes, right? If you can do double the amount of things in the same amount of time, you will inevitably make more money. I'll link a video up here of my processes if you want some ideas of how to do it. Work on streamlining things. Work on becoming more efficient. And then the third thing is going to be stay consistent. And this is going to be extremely hard. I know I'm already struggling with this because as our sales are going down, we're putting in the same amount of work and not getting the same output that we used to get, right? I'm still sourcing, I'm still listing, all of these things I'm doing the same, if not better than I was multiple years ago. I'm much better at it now because I have time and wisdom under my belt. I'm getting better at it, and my numbers and outcome and how much I'm making is getting worse. And based off of economics and what people are projecting, it's likely going to get worse. So it's going to be very hard to stay consistent. But the reason that I'm telling you to stay consistent is if you can build those habits and stay consistent during this time, when things get better, you're going to be on the other side of it and you're going to already have those habits. If you get out of the habit of being consistent, so some of it's consistency for platforms, for the algorithm, everything. But a lot of it's for your business and for your habits, right? It's like going to the gym. If you go to the gym regularly every single day or whatever your plan is, if you go regularly, it's easier to get the output and to stay consistent. If you're like, oh, I don't want to go today, I'm not going to go tomorrow, you're not going to see the consistent output that you're wanting from the gym if you're not consistently putting the input, right? The second or the fourth, what are we on, number 4? Are we on 4? Yeah, so 4, 5, 6. Ooh, so I have 5 and a bonus. There you go, friends. So the next one, and I'm absolutely doing this, is looking at my cash flow, ways that I can suck out as much cash flow as I can get to keep me running, right? So during these hard times, you need money to run a business. And as less money is coming in, I'm getting tighter in my cash flow. And one thing that I am doing is figuring out, one thing, I need a little drink of water. One thing that I'm doing for my cash flow is I am listing more items, but selling more items than I'm listing, right? So if you follow me, you follow Chris at Daily Refinement, you know what reseller nirvana is. Your listing is, you want to get to the point where you're listing as many items as you are you're selling as many items as you are listing, right? That's reseller nirvana. I'm kind of going backwards, reverse reseller nirvana, where I am selling more items than I am listing. I have decreased how many items I am listing, and I'm still trying to keep the same sell-through rate. And the reason for this, the reason for cash flow is I'm spending less money on inventory. If I can still be making the same amount of money, right? So my sell-through rate is staying the same. I can keep that number the same, but I'm spending less money on inventory. What I'm taking home is going to be more. Now, this is not a long-term solution because if you figure out the math quickly, if I sell more than I list for a long period of time, I'm going to run out of inventory, right? I'm going to be out of business. So this is not a long-term solution. It's a short-term solution to have more cash in my pocket and work on strategies. This goes up to one of the other tips up above. Work on strategies that are going to improve my business. Working on strategies like sell similar, like promoted listings, like running sales, like all of the things within my business, making those the best that they can be without just buying more inventory. Because what happens with buying more inventory is I'm spending more money. If I can sell more items by running a sale, if I can sell more items by sending out a newsletter, all of these different ways that are not taking money out of my pocket, I'm going to be able to stay afloat. Now, in the good times, is this a good strategy? Probably not. I'm going to run out of inventory. I'm going to maybe discount my items a little bit more than I would want during the good times, but we're not in those good times. You have to be able to look at what's happening and pivot your business and make strategic decisions to make it through. Next thing is looking at performing categories and lean into these, right? So this is the same as like leaning into sourcing, and you're going to have to do this significantly more than you've had to do in the past. Buying things and saying, hey, they're going to sell eventually. Yes, that may be true, but selling eventually based off of the recession, you may not make it to eventually. Like, I don't mean to be mean here, but if you're saying, hey, I'm going to buy this and maybe it'll sell in 5 years, you're spending money right now to make money in 5 years. And during the recession, when things are getting slimmer, you may not have the luxury of being able to do that. So what I'm doing is leaning into my data. Sorry, you want to see me small and the charts big, right, friends? Again, this is the Sarah Style Sales and Trends dashboard. This is another one of the charts that we're looking at, top 20 categories. Of the categories that I sell in, these are my top 20 gross revenue performing categories. These categories are making me the most money. What I'm focused on, so you have your sell-through rate. This is how many items are selling out of how many items that you have for sale. This is what I'm focusing on right now. On the bottom, you have your average profit. So over here I have bags, but as the recession is coming, as it's getting stronger and harder for people to be buying things, they are not spending money. If they are spending money, it's going to be on these high sell-through items, likely in my categories, likely that they need, likely that they can spend. Let's look at this. My top one is jeans. They can spend, this is the profit, so they probably spent maybe $25, right? So, okay, I need a pair of jeans, right? And this can be something that I can lean into. These are people that I still need to wear jeans. I still need to wear pants. Maybe I can't afford to buy them brand new anymore. I'm going to look at eBay. I can afford $25, right? Where it's like a purse. Do I really need a new purse when I can't pay my heating bill right now, right? Probably not. Leaning into these high sell-through rate categories. Now, these are going to be different for everybody. If you don't have access to this data, you can look at your information in Terapeak. I'll link a video up above, but eBay gives us this information for their entire platform. So you can research and look in there. They also give you listing or sourcing opportunities that are going to give you this information as well. Your data is going to be the best data because it's based off of what you have access to source, what knowledge you already have, all of that information based off of your numbers. If you don't have this dashboard or you don't track your numbers this way, then Terapeak's going to be your second best guess. And then this is... No, so now we're on number 5. I don't know, friends. I lost count. I think we're on number 5. No, that was number 5. Now we're on the bonus for number 6. This is going to be hard as well as one of the other ones. You have to over deliver and under expect. Hang in there, right? So over deliver, you still have to run your business the way that you've been running it and probably a little bit better. People are tight with their money, and when they get tight with their money, they have higher expectations. If they only have $20 to spend on any item that they want right now, they want it to be worth it, right? When you have disposable income, it doesn't really matter as much if, because it's disposable income, right? You still want to get a good deal. You still want to have good customer service. But when you only have $20 to your name to buy something, you want that to be completely worth it, which means that people's expectations are probably going to increase. You also have other businesses that are trying to stay afloat, and they're going to be trying to make these customers happy. Remember and remind yourself, it is not like the good old days, but you can continue to be a good business and you will make it through if you can just slim your margins and figure out a way to make it to the other side. If you make it through all of this and to the other side, you are going to be on top, because I think a lot of people probably aren't. If you guys have any other tips, let me know down below. Liking, saving, sharing helps if you liked this video and other people to see it as well. YouTube thinks you'd like this video. I will link a playlist down here of, I don't know, how to make money reselling, and then make sure to hit that subscribe button for more content if you want to join my memberships to support this content or for more mentoring one-on-one.